All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, just because I assume that people are going to see this title and go, he's making this up, I am doing something I normally don't do, which is I'm showing you the headline right there and one of the many, many pictures that are in this article. That is Conor McGregor and some dude on his Lamborghini boat. And yeah, we're going to go through that in this video. I'm going to talk to you guys about what happened yesterday on Twitter and why people are suddenly speculating that Conor might be playing for the other team. And I will tell you whether or not I think he is. And if so, why? And if not, why? Now, I guess anybody who's like, oh, he really might be, he might like dudes. I mean, the evidence is relatively straightforward. It's going to be this series of pictures I'm going to show you. And then the Twitter thing where someone liked a video of a dude, scratching his head, oh God, I can't get this itch. I can't get this itch except, not this head, right? Ugh. With the caption, intense AF. The specific post that got liked is so funny, man. I can't get over that. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll tell you whether I think this is all kind of like some weird coincidence where these pictures just came out and, Conor had this thing happen on Twitter yesterday, or if maybe it's real. Maybe it's real. Anyway, before we jump into this thing, no sponsor for this video, except for one, which is my own sponsor, which is Jesse on Everything. Re-education camp like communist countries like the Soviet Union and North Korea. Yeah, in Canada. Yeah, in Canada. Aren't they like just polite and normal up there? They were. Yeah. We got this huge global agenda going on, like a huge global agenda being run by these guys at the World Economic Forum. They're not even hiding the ball. They're basically just telling us that we're going to take all of our rights away and they're going to march us in a straight line into some kind of dystopian nightmare because climate change. Dude, climate change is super serious. Yeah, I know. No, really, it's like really serious. Yeah, I know. So maybe what they're doing is a good thing. Hey, maybe. Hey, let me ask you a question, 2015, Jesse. What the fuck does a jab for for an illness that poses no risk for you at all, what the fuck does that have to do with climate change? Nothing. Right. Same people on this channel, like we talk about every single time. I ask gentlemen's agreement. If you're going to watch my content, please subscribe to the channel. Just like, if it's your first time hearing it, this is my favorite metaphor. You go to the store and they have like those jars of candy and it's like, go ahead, take one. Please leave a quarter for, cancer research. And it's like, yeah, it's on the honor. Like there's literally, you could take all the candy and even if they saw you, no one's going to be like, hey man, where's your quarter? Well, I have no ability to enforce this, but like what kind of person just takes the kid? Like, you know what the agreement is, right? I'm literally asking for nothing except you just to click a button, right? So if you don't mind, if you're going to watch my content, you can have access to my entire library of content. You can even email me. That's the thing I do for my subscribers. If you just subscribe, you can watch all of my stuff and you can even email me. And there's like a 90% chance that I'll respond to you because I love you guys. I love all of you guys. The only people I don't love are people who just watch all my videos without subscribing just out of spite because it doesn't cost anything and that's just mean. Anyway, so let's rock and roll and let's get into, I'm sorry. And then my other channel is Jesse on Everything. And the reason why I'm plugging that channel is because we are incredibly close to 25,000 over there, right? I need 200 subscribers to hit 25,000 on Jesse on Everything. And I don't post as much there, but that's because all my videos are fire over there. If you go watch the most recent one that I posted, it's a conversation between 2023 Jesse and 2015 Jesse. I'm going to do another one of those just because that was completely off the cuff with no planning that time. And with a little bit of planning, I think I'll be able to make it even better. And it probably is the best video I've ever done. So go give that a run. The link's in the description. Okay, so here we go. So yesterday, and again, just so I'm not completely burying the lead, this is the article we're going to be looking at. It is a Serbian article, in case you guys were wondering what that language is. It's Serbian. I had to do some research to figure that out. And basically, if you were going to translate that headline, it says something like, actually, we're going to do that. We're going to do that together. Okay. Just because it's funny, like since, I've got you guys up on StreamYard and everything. So we may as well translate it together after this. But bottom line is it says something along the lines of, ooh, dirty business on Conor's boat. What's going on? It's like some sarcastic, like, ooh, something fishy's going on Conor's Lambo boat. And this comes this actually came out yesterday, the same day that Conor's Twitter account liked, a straight up, no room for interpretation, pay Gorn, a pay Gorn video, a gay, Orn pay. Oh, dude. If you say gay in Pig Latin, it actually does not make it a different word, right? It actually makes it sound like you're referring to a person like, oh, it's that. It sounds more like a pejorative. So backfire, huge backfire there. Best channel on YouTube talking about Pig Latin and the effect on what. Anyway, so yeah, so you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reiterate what I said about the Twitter thing, and then we're going to go through these pictures, okay? So first of all, this is what I think happened on Twitter. Plain and simple. I think that Conor has a social media team that manages his social media from time to time. We've talked about this a million times on this channel, talked about it on the live stream yesterday, that like sometimes you can almost always tell when it's Conor tweeting because it just sounds like him. And if it's someone being super combative, it's usually Conor. And when he's being combative, he's either super clever or drunk, right? And he's, but like, and then those usually get deleted, but they're generally pretty awesome anyway. I mean, I don't know if I need to restate this, but I am a huge Conor fan. Like, I'm a huge Conor fan. I find it so because, and just to qualify that, like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we watching MMA for? To be entertained, right? And being entertained doesn't mean that you don't give proper respect or credence to the work ethic and all the stuff that goes into this, because I obviously do, but it still ultimately is entertainment. Who is more entertaining than Conor? Whether you love him or you hate him, who is more entertaining than Conor? Like, he hasn't fought since July of 2021. And we're still talking about him because he's that big of a star. He's a fascinating gentleman, But yeah, I'm a huge Conor fan. Huge. And I also am I'm a huge fan of all of his rivals too. That's just true. I love Poirier, dude. Poirier is a savage. And I love Khabib and his whole crew. So it just is what it is. I love everybody. I told you guys, the only people I don't love are people who watch my content consistently and won't just click the subscribe button out of spite, because that's just mean, dude. That's just mean, yo. But so I think Conor had I think he has a social media manager that might be a homosexual. And I think that they probably didn't realize what account they were logged into. Because if you guys do not have multiple accounts on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, like this is literally how easy it is. Like, whoop. You just have, it's like, you have multiple accounts. It'll look just like that. And so I'm sure that they go back and forth, and they just didn't realize they were logged into Conor's account when they were perusing for, entertainment. God, I can't get this itch. Oh God. God, it's so satisfying when you get an itch real good. Yes. Intense AF. Of all the pay Gorn that you could possibly watch, that one is a dude just like eye contact into the camera. It's the funniest. It's the funniest. It's the funniest pay Gorn that a person could like on Twitter. Like of you could go super hardcore. Just think of any kind of hardcore. And that would be so much less funny than, oh God. Oh, yeah. It's just hilarious. It's all, oh yeah, I am digging that, man. I am of all, just like think about who would pick that. It's like of all the stuff they could watch, they're all, God, I'm loving that eye contact. Really digging the eye contact right there. That is intense AF. Oh, that guy got fired for sure. Anyway, so now let's like I said, that's my theory. Or and I entertained this, you know what? I'll save that for after, as we go through this. But I did enter, when I first looked at these pictures, I will say that my first look was like, what on earth? Because they just look like, so I was speaking to a relatively prominent UFC fighter about this last night, who I sent this to, and then we were talking on the phone, looking through them together. And I was like, dude, you and me could go on a 2-week all-inclusive vacation, and if we had someone videotaping us for 2 straight weeks, no matter what, they're never going to get an image like this. You know, like there's no image, there's no scenario where, you know, where this image happens, right? Why is this not letting me click on these? There we go. You know what I mean? Like, put a video camera on us. Like, this is not going to happen, right? So that was my initial take, and then I was like, you know what it could be is what's a good way to replace that word? You know, like what's a word that rhymes with like wussy, right? Like, I think he was getting, like, I was like, dude, maybe he's been getting so much wussy that he just was like, you know what? I'm going for dudes, man. I'm bored of girls. I just slam so much wuss that I'm going to try out dudes for a while. So, yeah, just getting up close and personal, right? And then there's that one, right? Where I don't know what this dude is doing or whatnot. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This is not what it looks like, obviously. This is obviously not what it looks like. When you actually really kind of look, it's like, okay, so what? Look in the back right here. This looks like D, right? This looks like D. Now, who knows? I mean, maybe, you know, they're just, it's pleasure at all costs, right? If a dude's going to do it, whatever, but I think most likely this is not what it looks like, because there's D right there. See, she's literally right behind him. And right here, this looks weird for sure. And this really looks weird, but then you get to this one. Wait, hang on. He's clearly looking at something. Like it looks like Conor was showing him something. Like, this guy might be his trainer or something, and Conor's like showing him something, right? Like something like on his shoulder or whatever. And, you know, listen, there's clearly a paparazzi there who's dotting them up, right? Who's getting all these pictures. So this is obviously the worst. Like, you know, the way that they're framing this is like, oh my gosh, Conor McGregor. And then if you check this out, and the way that they did like this one right here, how they put these two circle pictures right here. That's because there's nothing even like good in these two circle pictures, which means, you know, to those you know, versed in clickbait, that means that they figured out that the way that this would look most compromising is if they took two things and they blocked his arm and his legs, so it looked like he was right on top of him, even though he ended up kind of being like, you know, once he's right on top of him, you could tell that he's looking at something in his shoulder. So they're obviously trying to make it as compromising as possible, which means that the picture that you saw right here, right? This, whatever this last one was, this is as close as they got, right? Like, if he moved anywhere closer than this, they would have obviously captured it. And so what this appears to be to me is they're laying on a boat, they're talking at his shoulder or something, and he says something about blah, 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 and then Conor flips over and shows it to him, right? Now, if you're Conor McGregor, you're on $1 million, $2 million Lamborghini boat, and somebody wants to take a picture of you and go, look at this sweet boy. Seems like you know, just kind of I don't know, what's the word? Just a byproduct of you being the biggest star in the history of combat sports. So I'm sure he'll be fine. You know, he'll be fine. So the answer is no. I do not think that Conor McGregor is a sweet boy. I don't. I really, really don't. Now, again, I mean, look, I would say, you know, I would say on my own, a bit, like, if it was like put a percentage, I'd say 95% not. That said, the Twitter thing was weird. You know, the Twitter thing was weird, but I do think it was probably a social media manager. But again, I don't know what happens to a brain when a person actually gets every single thing that they want. Like, is at the, you know, the touch of a finger, right? So now I'm just going to talk about humanity real quick, about this in general. Like, Conor clearly is wired in a way, like, one of his weaknesses is impulsivity and pleasure seeking. Okay. Now, geez, why can you recognize that, Jesse on Fire? I don't know. Probably because I have no, probably because I don't struggle with that at all. Like, pleasure seeking at my own detriment. But the thing I don't have any ability to have insight into is like, well, what happens when anything you want is just a fingertip away, right? Where it's like, you know what I really think that I would like to do tonight is like, once you have, hey, send over 5 girls. I want one that looks like Megan Fox. I want one that looks like Ariani. Another one that looks like yada, yada. Another one that looks like yada, yada. And they're like, okay, cool. They'll be there in 45 minutes. It's like, send them over with an enormous bag of, and let them know that I have a bottle of Cialis and it's on. I mean, like, let them know that whatever they need to do to get prepared, this is not going to be an easy night. Like, we're going long, we're going hard. That's why we need 5, because I don't want to like pulverize one of them basically until she can't walk for the next, 2 weeks. Okay. Like, it's on. This might go 2 days. They're all, oh yeah, we'll send you everything you need, Mr. McGregor. And these girls are actually certified. I'm trying not to get demonetized. Symphomaniacs, right? They're all symphos. Excellent. Okay. Well, like, you can have that literally every night, right? If you're Conor, do that every night. You do that, then you get up, you go train, and then you're like, so tonight I like that ring girl Brooklyn Wren. Could you send people that look just like her to me? They're all, no, we can just send you her. He's like, oh, even better. Just kidding, Brooklyn Wren. I was not actually saying that that's a real thing. It's just, I think what I was actually saying is she's the sexiest ring girl. She is the sexiest ring girl, 100%. Gabrielle will attest to that, dude. Once you've been there in person and you've seen like Brooklyn Wren, the black girl, she looks like her body looks like a cartoon character in person where you're like, it's like someone is like, hey, draw what the most sexually attractive body that you possibly could for a ring girl. And they just cartooned Brooklyn Wren into reality. That's what she looks like. She's a smoke show. But in reality, also, she's kind of tall for me. So it just doesn't matter. It's kind of one of those like, look, you're all, man, that's really sexy. And both Gabrielle and I, she's too big for us, though. Like, she's too big. She needs to marry a linebacker because they will have some incredibly good looking and talented children. Anyway, but yeah, so once you can have whatever you want all the time, maybe things escalate. Maybe they escalate. You're like, I'm not getting any gratification from these things that I'm doing, right? I mean, fuck it. Let's just see what's what. And then all of a sudden it's like, man, this is so wrong. It feels so right. So wrong. It just feels right. You know what I mean? Now, do I think that's what's actually happening? Of course not. Of course not. But the destination at the end of a pleasure journey that has no limitations whatsoever. Who knows, dude? Who knows? Would I even judge him? I'm telling you, dude, alpha males going gay, that is so hot right now, dude. That shit is hot in the streets. It's like, dude, that guy went gay. It's like, yeah, bro. Have you not been watching TV? These guys are going gay. And that's how you know it's a real gangster. It's like they're basically saying, like, I'm too tough to fuck girls, man. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You want to know who's the only character in history that actually was like, where that literally is the answer. It's like, he's too tough to be attracted to girls, was Omar from The Wire. He's the only one where like his gayness was like, man, it's as if, he's like a prison predator in the streets. That's like, women are too soft for me, man. They're too soft. What am I going to do with that little girl? She ain't got nothing from me. Get me a little sweet boy. What? Anyway, you want to know who's not going gay in the streets? Me. But that's a yet, dude. That's a yet, just so we're clear. That's a yet. If this, this trend picks up, dude, I mean, listen, I'm not going to let anybody else be tougher than me. And if it has to come at the end of me, I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's what I got. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if this made you feel really uncomfortable, grow up. Okay, we're joking. If it made you uncomfortable, guess who's the one who should be worried about that? Not the one who could joke about it. You. I mean, not you specifically. I'm not pointing at anyone in specific. Like, I'm just joking. Jesus. Love you guys.